Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Chaos to System. Today we are going to discuss why 70% of software projects are in chaos and failed and how we are going to fix it. Today's key message is successful software is built on a bridge of communication and a foundation of scalable structure, not just piece of code. So we are diving deeper into this, how the founders are burned and how they can save themselves. So as a founder, or a business owner, you had a vision, you had a budget, you even had the team, but 6 months later you are looking at a product that doesn't work, a budget that doubled, and a team that say it's exactly what you asked for. In my years of experience, I have found that 60 to 70% of my clients come to me after they have already burned themselves. They spend their savings and their time, but they have nothing to show for it. They feel cheated by their own internal teams or outsourcing teams that they got nothing after spending so much of time and money. And here's what keep me up at night. The developers aren't lazy. The developers aren't incomplete. The problem is something else entirely. Today I am putting back the curtain on why that happens. Even when you give 100% effort, I am sharing the exact framework we are going to use to reduce the risk of failure from 70% down to almost zero with the practices what I'm following in this channel. So I'm going to focus on the development gap. What exactly the gap? Why these vendors are failed? Why our development projects are failed? What was promised or what was delivered? Let me tell you what the development gap actually look like. It happens to the best of us. Even in my own product life cycle, I once instructed my team to develop a specific calculation module. I was very clear what I'm trying to achieve. I have explained multiple times. I have conveyed my thoughts, but after all of the development, what I get is actually completely different than what I anticipated. The problem is not like what they have understood and what I have conveyed. Even as a founder, I am a technical. I understood the code, I understand the architecture, but still that was a shock that I am not able to make it deliver or happen. There are several gaps over there why that have failed, and I'm trying to put a highlighter on that why it is failing on it. So the first thing is the blueprint fallacy. We are expecting the documentation as a product A, but actually the work is done, work is delivered, but it looks like B or C. Something altogether different what we require. All the dashboards, all the reports anticipating in something else, but the deliverable process, the batch processing, all is different. Then the second point, it happens that you understand yourself that you are doing all the QA process by your own. They deliver something, some piece of code where you are trying to fix it or you are trying to identify the gap, whether you are consuming that whole information according to what you have asked or what you have requested for. The third disaster is like the lab support after the work has been delivered. Even everything is fine, you have make it delivered, but the product is still not ready for the market yet, and the things are keep changing. Your product is not ready for like live, still you are consuming all those stuff, but the support cost is going to increase on whatever the work has been delivered. The fourth point is like the hidden cost where the developers are including the paid APIs or paid licenses or third-party tools including in that, which are not approved by you. They come to you as a surprises later as the product has been delivered. And the last and the foremost where you can't imagine the scaling disaster. You come up with the solution, everything has been delivered, you tested on the production, you done everything, but then when the product is going live and you try to scale, you are very happy, the initial 100 200 users comes after, but the scaling got failed because the product is not ready for the scaling factor. The least and the last is the bug cycle. They keep producing, you keep giving them the reason, the small here and there, the bugs are there, the product is not ready to fit, not ready to go to the market. All this is creating a chaos which are not making you ready for the product to go live or to go into the market, where you whatever the money you have spent, that is not saving you or making the product as expected what you want. So these are all the problems. Somehow you are facing one or the other, but why it happened? What is the problem even after the discovery phase? Why it has happened? What exactly is the problem is? Especially for the non-technical business owners, the problem is that they have a very excellent, brilliant business ideas, or might be they know what the business problem is, but they give all the details to the contract contractors how it look like, how they have to deliver, what it is up to, what they have to market. But you as a business owner do not understand the technical things, and you cannot translate the problem statement to the technical aspect what your team as a developer could understand. Developers understand the technical aspect, these APIs, these UIs, this thing, that thing, but your business ideas does not understand that piece of part. So then this is the first problem where the communication gap happened to translate your business problems to the technical terms. The second mistake, what as a client, what I have seen, even though they are non-technical, they try to do themselves everything. They want to become a project manager, they want to become the architect, and they know the business, they see it like they will solve all the problem, but that is not actually happening because you don't have the bandwidth to do the QA, to see that what exactly is happening there in the code. All those problems are hampering you for delivering what exactly you are expecting. The third problem, like why it happening, the visibility issue is there, because when you are doing with the outsourcing team or even with the internal team, because you are non-technical, you do not understand what exactly they are up to. You do not have the visibility that what exactly they are delivering, what exactly they are working with. So there is another gap, like what you are getting and what they are up to. Then there is unclear acceptance of work what they are doing. So whatever you are asking them, they are delivering, but the instructions might be are not clear. What is your roadmap? What is the roadmap of your product? How you want to scale? How you want to achieve? Like in starting, they have built the solution just for 100 users, but when you try to scale to 100,000 users, the product is not designed architecturally to scale up to 1,000 users, and that where you haven't defined exactly the scope and requirement initial even in the document. Still, if that you have clear that this is what the scope is, but team doesn't understand that part, or might be if they understand, you do not have somebody who bridge that gap to understand that what is the solution they are providing. So what is the solution? How we will create a bridge or framework to fix all these problems? So first of all, I'm giving you a solution for a bridge framework, how you will remove this gap between your business vision and the technical solution. So first of all, you have to hire somebody at your end which understand your business or technical problem and convert that into the technical solution for the development team you have hired, who understand the technology and the business both. So might be you hired close to you. Ideally, it will be great if you hired at your end, but if you do not find that person in near to you, you hire the vendor who is having the capability with the project manager who understands the domain, who understand your vision, who understand your business problem, or convert it to the technical solutions for the team who can work on it. So this is the first important thing you have to cover. Then second thing you have to do, like you should not conduct the demos or review meetings at the end of the month or at the end of like deliverable of the project or different milestones. I sincerely recommend that you should have those demos meetings and the review meetings every week. You should see what exactly they are up to. Even if there is a deviation, you will not lose more than like a week time, and they will actually correct it within the time frame. These are two critical things which solves your 50% of the problem, where even if they have misguided of leading that product development to B instead of A, they will be corrected immediately. So the third point is like strict acceptance criteria. You should define with help of technical consultant that what is your acceptance criteria, how much the system should scale with the budget you are carrying, what is the code lines you are going to accept, what is the security features you are going to accept, what are the measurable criteria for scaling, or what you are not going to accept. All these things you have to define or your own terms instead of the vendor. They are giving you their own terms, following the software SDLC cycles where developers do not cheat you, or the developers can understand the whole process, the acceptance criteria, and there is like no confusion what is expecting from them to deliver even after the discovery phase. Then the fourth solution is zero surprises. Even before the development start, demand that the development teams gets approval for any third party vendors, APIs, or the components they are using in the platform. So anything which is like open source licensing or any third party paid components, they need to take approval from you, and what is the cost involved in it even if the product is going live, so you can actually evaluate the cost, whether you want to go with those third party components or you want to do the whole component development within your budget, or that is your budget approval. Like if you have a roadmap, marketing roadmap for 2 to 3 years, this is okay that you can accommodate that $100 per month cost of that. So you should know that things initially in the very beginning, even before the development. Then the last thing and not the least thing is SDLC discipline and domain expertise. That whenever you are hiring the vendor, either you will hire that expert, domain expert within yourself, but even if you do not able to hire like with the cost limitation or anything at your end, choose the vendor which closely understand what your domain, your problems, or might be capable enough or having the skills to translate the business problems to the technical solutions and provide it to you. And like whenever you want to scale, you should define that what are the parameters of your acceptance for scaling, for architecture scaling, for your like number of user base scaling, which is completely based on the budget what you are defining. So all the acceptance criteria should be defined clearly in the document, how you will going to accept, what is your roadmap down the line as a marketing, how many concurrent users you are going to accept, how it will be look like, what are the API support, what are the third party tools, what is the flexibility and the service thing in the architecture you are going to accept as the project code, what are the security points you are going to accept in your project code. So this eliminate all the surprises which comes after the project live, even in the support later during, like when the users coming on and your support duration has gone. So you know that what exactly you are getting for, how much money you are going to invest, and what is the time frame where it will run. Then like build your contracts with the flexibility where there is accommodation, any change request or anything you need to include, those things need to be accommodated in the contract. So you have a little bit flexibility to incorporate that, and you also give those flexibility to the vendors you are going to accept. So when you keep all these points in mind and before taking up the contract, signing off, even after selecting the vendors, your development projects will never be the nightmare. If you need to understand all the things in detail, you want to understand the checklist, or you want to understand from my past 30-year experience anything, please comment below or contact us directly so we can help you out how to lay down these things in an appropriate way, how you can scale without surprises, you can get like 100% what you are trying to achieve with a successful outcome. Thank you guys. We will continue with more pointers from Kiosk to Systems. Please continue watching our channel, and thank you for your time.